Hey folks, welcome back. I want to do a product spotlight real quick on this because I have not purchased one of these until now, and a lot of people out there have one, but I got a deal on Amazon Prime and went ahead and pulled the trigger. This is I don't know how you say that brand name, Pink Condow digital ultrasonic cleaner. This thing was $50. I got a 20% off coupon, so it cost me like 36 bucks. I had it within the same week, and it's the 3-liter one, and I've been using it, so that's what all that crud is in there. But it's kind of cool little thing because it comes with the lid, it comes with the retaining basket for your parts washer. It has a drain, it comes with the drain valve and this little spigot, this knob, and a good about a 3-foot piece of flexible tubing here so you can drain out your reservoir. It's not real loud. It also comes with some heavy duty rubber gloves. These are like industrial strength. I mean, those are some high-end gloves there. Now, the only bad thing, the drawbacks on this is that you can only run it for 30 minutes. So when you set the timer, you can only go to 30 minutes. And then the temperature, if you're not familiar on Celsius, you're going to have to do some conversions to figure out what Celsius is in Fahrenheit because the temperature is in Celsius, okay? Neat thing is you can set it for minutes and seconds. You can also set your temperature. I had it at 68 Celsius, and then it'll show you what the actual temperature is when you set it. And when both of those show up as 68, well, then you know it's ready to go. So I'm going to plug this thing in, and then you'll see real quick. And then obviously you got to turn it on. There's a switch back here, on and off button. There you go, beep. All right. So right now, let's see if I can't zoom down in there. Right now, we've got the temperature set for 65 degrees Celsius. It's actually 23 degrees Celsius, and the minutes is set at 30. So, there you go. And then if I wanted to turn it on, if I had some solution in there, I would hit on, and I can actually do that without heat. And then there's an on button here for both the temperature and the time countdown when you're done, and it'll beep, and then it'll stop doing both heat and countdown, okay? You can also set it to where it just does heat. So you don't want to run that ultrasonic, you can just heat, have a steam bath. You can use that. I mean, it's not going to turn it into steam, it is going to turn it into a very hot solution. So if you're using something that needs to be somewhat warm to hot, you can use this. So there you go. It's a great, I mean, you can stick a piston and a connecting rod off of pretty much everything, any other a V8, these small little 2.0 engines, Mini Coopers, Volkswagens. I don't know what you're working on out there, but they'll fit in this little thing. So the 3-liter is just enough. So hang on just a minute. Let me grab a tape measure and I'll show you the measurements or the dimensions. So the height of this thing is exactly 11.25 inches. So those folks that are watching around the world that are in metric, go ahead and convert that yourself. Let's see, we've got, so the height 11.25 inches. The width of the lid, right at, let's just call it 7. Okay. And then the length, let's call this the length. It's right at about 12 inches, 12 3/4. Okay. Now the reservoir itself measures 11 3/4 by, let's call that 6 inches. By, let's take the pin out and let's come up to, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up right up to the solution level. So this little rim right here is where your solution will be. And that is about 4 3/4 inches. So, and then you'll put your basket back down in there, okay? So the reason you want to have your solution no higher than that little rim right there is because whenever you add your parts, the water obviously is going to be displaced by your parts, whatever you put in there, your piston, your connecting rod or whatever, and it's going to come up quite a bit. So you need to make sure what you put in there, make sure that you keep your fluid in there correctly set. What I used is just some Simple Green, and I also went to the dollar store and got your favorite and mine, the dollar store brand Ultra Deluxe dishwashing soap. And when that thing is doing its ultrasonic and you've got your non-corrosive soap and Simple Green in here at 65 degrees Celsius, it's going to take exactly 30 minutes to clean up your pistons to look. And I'll show you exactly what they're going to look like when you take them out after 30 minutes. And then you're going to need to clean and change out your reservoir solutions about every other one because it really takes the crud off. Let's jump over here and I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've done in that ultrasonic cleaner, and you're going to be amazed. I did this engine mount. I did this alternator bracket. I did the pistons and the connecting rods. And tell me those connecting rods don't look absolutely brand new. Okay, I did the pistons. It took all of the carbon off the top and out of the ring grooves. Okay, I did the cam cover plate here without the Vano sensors and without the seals. Definitely don't want to put anything plastic or electronic in there. And I did the rear cover plate for the block, for the timing chain cover. I've also done the bolts and the fasteners just to get the crud off of them. And all of that sealant that was on the oil pan, all that gasket material came right off. Okay. And here you've got another sample of what I've done with the fasteners. So yeah, that thing works really, really good. Definitely saves me with the bottle brush and everything like that. And obviously you want to use a heck of a lot of WD-40 or some, I use this just cheapo Amazon 5W30, whatever, you know, that stuff's like $4.90 a quart, under $5 a quart if you buy bulk, right? Amazon, fully synthetic, and just, I use that for assembling things. And then once everything's broken in, you know, go from your dyno oil, jump right into your good quality oil. I like the Motul is excellent. And I like to use Quaker State, and I like Mobil 1. So that's just me. The other thing, I'm just going to jump real quick update on the engine. So I've got all the torque specifications laid out right here. And as you all know, I'm still waiting on the piston rings to go on the new pistons so I can put the new pistons on the connecting rods, put them in the block, and reassemble the bottom end. We've got our crank bearings in there. Everything turns, it turns like butter. I mean, I can't even describe how clean and smooth that turns. Right end specifications for the bearings and the crank journals. Whoever had this car before kept up on the oil changes. So once we get this together, we will jump into checking out that transmission, seeing, you know, just externally. I'm not going to rebuild the transmission. I'm going to look at the seals, see if there's anything. But I did buy a oil pan gasket and a new filter, well, both of the filters for that. And obviously all the filters and the gaskets and everything that need to go into the car, including the fresh air filter that goes in the cabin pollen filter, I think they call it. And luckily on this car, I'm not going to have to buy another heat shield because this one's in excellent shape. It's not missing any of the little snap ring things or anything like that. It's just a little dusty. So I might pop that out and just spray it down with some water and throw it back up on there. But this car is in absolutely immaculate condition for, you know, for what I paid and for what's wrong with it. I cannot believe it. So this thing is going to be a roadworthy car. Once I get done with it, it's going to be a roadworthy car for quite a while. And I'm really looking forward to that. And, you know, it's not something you want to tune up and make into a dragster car or anything like that, or a race car. It's just a nice, conservative, fast 300 horsepower car that, you know, for an executive sedan. And I'm going to enjoy it as my old broken body going down the highway with some tinted windows. It's going to be a nice, comfortable. It's a Volkswagen Cadillac. Come on. These and the Phaetons, I mean, go do your research on those Phaetons. Those are absolutely outstanding cars if you can find one in good condition, because they're almost one of those ones where they're unicorns. They're you know, they were made, they were too expensive at the time. There was other options available at the time. Everybody went a different way, and the Phaeton just went out, and the CCs. So now you're looking at a car that basically saved the VR6 until the Atlas came out. The Volkswagen Atlas has a VR6, remember. So it saved that for a little bit longer, it prolonged it. And a lot of the internals are forged or crossed with the Porsche Cayenne. So do a little bit of research on those Phaetons. I think there's a YouTube channel out there. I don't know the person, but I watch YouTube quite a bit, and I think there's individual, it's Car Wizard, and it'll say like, buy this, not that, and see if you can find the one where he talks about the Volkswagens. And then, you know, see what he says about the Volkswagen Phaetons, and then jump in and do some research on those Phaetons. It's Phaeton, Volkswagen, okay? So it's like the executive of the executive car. And it actually gets into the Bugatti a little bit of, you know, you wouldn't have a Bugatti motor without the VR6. You wouldn't have that monster, those V12s out there, you know, without the VR6. So remember that. And, you know, just do your own research. You know, I'm not going to share my limited knowledge on what I know about them, but from what I've seen and from what I understand, you can get an absolute immaculate car for a reasonable cost. It's not going to leave you on the side of the road, or you're not going to have a lot of issues with it, like something that you're going to buy from Kia or Honda. I'm sorry, just not a fan of those cars. So, all right, folks. Well, thanks. If you're thinking about an Ultrasonic, there you go. You can pick them up under $50 on Amazon. Try them out. If you can find that one, or if you have a question on, you can find them. Come on, folks. But get the one that's big enough, the 3-liter or bigger, because you're going to want to use that thing for assemblies and big parts. And as your engines grow, tractor, maybe you're working on parts like that. I mean, you're going to want a larger one. So, but for just us that are working in our little garage here, it's perfect. It doesn't take up space, and you don't use a lot of the cleaning solution for the small parts that you're going to use. And as everybody is, just like me, we're all on a budget. We're trying to do this as reasonably cost effective as we can. So thanks so much for watching. We'll get back with you whenever we get our parts in, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.